Now, to practice some of the attacks that we're going to learn in the future lectures, you need to have a target machine or a victim machine. So this is a computer that you're going to target and try to hack and test the attacks that we're going to learn against. So you can do this against any machine, but I highly recommend installing target machines as virtual machines. This is great because it won't break a real computer for you if you actually break something. It's also very easy to fix. Even if you have a computer that you don't care about, it's very easy to fix virtual machines. You can just remove it and reinstall it, or store a snapshot and go back to it. Now, as we all know, Windows is a very common operating system. It's used by a lot of people. So in this lecture, I'm going to show you how to install Windows 10 as a virtual machine so that we can test some of the attacks that we're going to learn in the future against it. So we'll target this machine when we want to test attacks against Windows or a target user that uses Windows. Now, Microsoft has released ready virtual images for people to test Windows, so we can actually download a virtual image of Windows for free from Microsoft. I'm going to include the download links in the resources of this lecture, but I have the page opened here. So the first thing you want to do is select the type of virtual machine that you want to download. As I said, we want to download Windows 10, so we're selecting MS Edge on Windows 10. Next, we need to choose the virtualization platform, and we're using VMware. That's why we're selecting VMware, but you have other options if you're using other virtualization software. Once you select VMware, you're going to see a download button in here. Clicking that will download a zip archive that contains the virtual image for Windows 10. Now, I've already done that, and I already have it in here in my downloads. As you can see, we have it here, MS Edge Windows 10 VMware. And as you can see from the icon, this is a zip archive. Therefore, in order to use the contents inside it, we have to uncompress this file. So to do that on Windows, simply we're going to have to double click it, copy the content, go back one directory and paste it here. We're going to give it some time to uncompress the content. On Mac, you can do the same. Simply double clicking it will uncompress the content. And on Linux, you'll have to right click and click on extract here. Now I'm doing these steps from a Windows host computer, but you should be able to follow them on Apple Mac OS and Linux because we are essentially using the same virtualization software, which is VMware. Once this is done, we're going to have another directory in here with the contents of the virtual Windows image. To import this to VMware, we're going to first of all run VMware. We're going to click on Open Virtual Machine or go to Player, File, Open. We're going to navigate to the location where we have this file in here. So it's going to be in my downloads, in MS Edge Windows 10 VMware. And we're going to select the only file that we can actually select from the list. We're going to click on Open, and we can set the name of the machine in here. So for example, I can set it to Windows 10. You can change the path where it's going to be stored, but we're going to keep that the same. And we're going to click on Import to import it. You're going to have to give it a bit of time to import this machine into VMware. And perfect, as you can see now, it's imported in here. And as usual, we can simply start it by clicking on the green play button. But before doing that, I actually want to modify the amount of memory it has. So we're going to right click and go to settings. And as you can see, by default, it's set to have 4 GB of memory. I think that's a little bit too much. It doesn't need that much. So we're going to set that to 2 by dragging the slider down to 2. We're going to click on OK and start it by clicking on the green play button. And perfect, as you can see now the machine started. We're going to click inside and click again to log in. The default password in here is capital P A S S W 0 or D exclamation mark. I'm going to hit enter. And here we go, we have a fully working virtual Windows 10 computer installed inside our main machine. And we did that so we can test attacks against this virtual machine without affecting our host computer. Now we can go in full screen by clicking here and going into full screen. The screen should automatically resize. If it doesn't, right click, display settings, and you can set it to the right resolution for your screen. I'm gonna set it to 3840 by 2160 because I have a 4K screen. You can see that the icons are actually really small because I have such a high resolution screen. In your case, you'll only face this issue if you have a 4K screen. So you'll also probably need to set the scaling in here to 200. And as you can see now, the icon size has changed to the normal size. Now, if you face any other issues, check out the featured questions. And if you don't find an answer, feel free to ask us and we will respond to you within a maximum of 15 hours.